Oh, it's so good to be here. All right, so this is a bit of a weird one, but I urge you to stick with me. So this story began at a storytelling event, not unlike this one in Vancouver. There's a storytelling show called The Flame. It's where I told some of my first live stories there, and like this show, it's always well attended. They have a very loyal audience, but it's a very specific audience at The Flame on Main Street, because they're the community of the storytelling show. They're like the old guard of the Vancouver film and television industry from the 80s and 90s. So literally everyone in the room either worked on The X-Files or CBC's The Beachcombers. And so they're all like older film types. And I tell a story one night, and I'm outside having a cigarette. I don't smoke anymore, I'm on the lozenges. And this guy who I've never seen before, he comes up to me after the show, and he's like, oh man, I loved your story so much, but I gotta tell you, the whole time I was watching you, I was just thinking to myself, oh my God, he would be perfect for this film role that I need filled. He's like, do you act at all? I'm like, no, I don't act. He's like, but you'd be so perfect for it. Like, would you at least consider if I sent you a script and maybe made you an offer? I'm like, yeah, sure, of course. So I give him my email, and he emails me the script. I give it a browse, but mostly I look at the offer because I'm 31 years old now, and no one had offered me this much money before or since to do anything. So I'm like, I guess I'm an actor now. And I was even able to leverage a minor role for my two best friends, Peter and Chris, in this project. And what this project was a zombie-themed driver safety video for internal use only, paid for by the municipal government of Metro Vancouver. So the basic premise of the project is like, hey, even if there's a zombie apocalypse, don't forget to buckle up, city employee. Check those mirrors. The shoot was taking place up in North Van, in the mountains, where the big water reservoir is for the whole city of Vancouver. And it's so beautiful up there. You're like in a rainforest. On the grounds up there, they have like manicured lawns and all these huge warehouses that like house all the water purification stuff. And when you stand on the lawn, it's like you have a bird's eye view of the city. It's insane up there. So we're up there shooting, and we're shooting this one scene in the film where I'm running from zombies, but still being safe around cars. There's a scene where I bust out of there. I bust out of this warehouse with the zombies quick behind me, and a truck pulls up, the door opens, it's my friend Peter, who I got the gig for, and he reaches out his hand, he says something to the effect of like, come with me if you want to live. So that whole afternoon, we're shooting, there's like a scene between my character and Peter's character, and it's in the car while he's driving. So while we're getting all the shots, we're like driving these mountain wooded roads, and this was like a real film shoot. There's like gaffers and like people with booms and craft services, but I am the only person who knows that Peter, the person driving the vehicle in the driver safety video, does not have a driver's license. And this is, in fact, the first time he's ever sat in his life on the driver's side of a truck. But I'm not worried, because it's so isolated up there, and like all the shots, it's like the camera's so far away, there's no one milling about, like it's just me and Peter in a big truck with the sound guy like hiding behind us, like holding up a microphone. So I'm not concerned. So we get all the shots that we need in our scene, and we're waiting to shoot the final scene of the whole shoot before we wrap, and we're just waiting for instructions, and 40 extras show up in zombie makeup, and we're sitting in the car, and the director comes up, and we roll down the window, and he's like, "Okay, Peter, so for this last scene, I'm going to direct the zombies to sort of mill about this big parking lot. And Peter, if you could just sort of like weave the truck through them and then accelerate towards that building and slam on the brakes so that we get a skidding sound just short of the building, we'll have the shot we need." So for the first few takes, Peter is so terrified that we're going so slow that it's ridiculous. There's like zombies passing us. And Peter, he's only going like 5 kilometers an hour, so we're not getting the tire sound that the shot requires. But each take, I see Peter getting a little bit more confident in a bad way. And the director comes up again, and he's like, "Okay, let's try this one more time. But Peter, really go for it this time." And as Peter rolled out the window, I knew exactly what was about to happen. Because Peter weaved through the zombies, and then he floored it towards the building. He slammed on the brakes, and it let out the desired rubber sound. And he crashed the government truck through the government building in a driver safety video paid for by the government. And so we get out of the truck, and it's just like 40 union guys being like, "What the fuck?" And like, So we're all standing around being like, "What happens?" And it was such a big crash that there's people emerging from the buildings to be like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" A driver safety video. So this one guy comes out of one of the buildings, and he looks like really in charge, and he kind of looks like Sean Penn. And I overhear him talking to the director, and I hear the word investigation, and it's a very solemn scene, and I'm like, "Peter, I think that you need to tell the director that you don't have a driver's license to see if he can nip this in the bud." So we waved the director over. He's a cool guy. He cast us. So Peter tells him, and we see him go over to Sean Penn. And so we're kind of standing around being like, "What the fuck? What's happening?" I've never seen Peter so upset. And all of a sudden, no fewer than 8 RCMP cars pull up to where we are, outside of the crash site and next to this big lawn. And Peter's like, am I gonna be arrested for this, for crashing without a license? And as we're freaking out together, we hear a helicopter sound in the distance. And it gets closer and closer. And like I said, we had a bird's eye view. And we can actually see this helicopter coming up the mountain. And it comes up right above where we are. And underneath it is the dead body of a hiker. And they drop it down right next to where we are. Like all the zombie extras and a dead body. And the RCMP come, they pick up the body, they load it into one of their cars, and they get out of there. And I was like, what the fuck is going on around here? And so Sean Penn goes back inside, and the director is like, we got the final shot, you guys should get out of here. So Peter and I drive down, I drive. We go to Wendy's, I get the #2 combo. And the next day, I worked at a very busy brunch place. I was back at my day job, waiting tables at this brunch place on Commercial Drive. And this girl that I work with, Kelsey, she's like this really smiley ray of sunshine every day. She's like a professional sailor now. She just seemed really bummed that day, or not like herself. And we worked the 5-hour brunch shift, and we're like eating some mistake food in the back. And I'm like, Kelsey, are you okay today? And she's like, Sam, the most fucked up thing happened. I was hiking in North Van, and I found a body. Thank you.